right, so let's have a look now at various ways, because obviously, like I said, filling your sales funnel or having a really engaging sales pipeline, a really powerful sales pipeline that fills your sales funnel from many different perspectives, means that you've got, no matter if let's say one of those different methods dries up, it's not going to be a massive problem. So let's do a really deep look, or let's rather take a really deep look at all the possible ways you have of filling your sales funnel. The first one I want to talk about is webinars, right? Have you thought about, look at your markets, look at your industry. Is it a viable option for you to run a weekly, a monthly webinar where you could get a whole lot of your customers to tune in and actually evaluate your product or service? Is that a viable option? What about using a multi-channel communication strategy, right? So a multi-channel communication strategy is one where you create, it starts off where you create content. So you create content that showcases your product or your service. And then once you've created that content, you find different ways of distributing that content. Now, the way that we do it is we distribute it through our blog. So we have a blog that we have. We also have various blog platforms like ezine.com where we put them up. Next, we have a strategy where we have over 100 LinkedIn groups, which are all very carefully targeted and selected, and these groups contain members of our tribe. In other words, people and organizations that are a perfect fit for our product or service. The other thing that you can use this content for is there's a LinkedIn feed. So you post these articles in the LinkedIn feed where you engage customers, you show them, you showcase exactly what your product or service can do for them. And remember, when you write articles, they're not brag opportunities, they're opportunities for you to say what's in it for your customers. So be very careful that you constantly use the so what test, right? It's no good saying we have audiobooks. Doesn't mean a thing to a customer. What you need to say is we offer audiobooks, which gives your sales team opportunity to engage with sales materials in their mobile university, their car, whilst they're commuting between workshops, which helps them to convert short-term memory to long-term memory, and it helps them to organize the knowledge so that when they need it, they can call on it easily, which means that they not only get to know the information, but they get to apply it on the job, which means you actually earn a fantastic return on your sales training investment. Now think about your own product or service. What is your narrative? What is your story behind each of the reasons that you engage with your customers, right? Next thing you can look at is you can look at LinkedIn advertising, right? You can do paid advertising on LinkedIn. Remember, we're trying to create awareness. We're trying to fill our sales funnel. We're trying to get people to become aware of us. So there's LinkedIn advertising, there's Facebook advertising, there's the Facebook news feed, which you can use as well. Remember, on Facebook, you can create personal pages and you can create company pages. And you can use those company pages to share valuable information. Now remember, your social media channels are never about broadcasting or shouting how wonderful you are. They're all about showing value. They're all about showing your customer, or should I rather say showcasing for your customer everything that you can actually do for them. So it gives them an opportunity to, first of all, get to know you. Secondly, it gives them an opportunity to also evaluate, is this organization the right fit for me, right? The next thing we can look at is there's Twitter advertising, the Twitter newsfeed, and very, very powerful opportunities today is to use video. Video, they say by the end of 2020, 85% of all internet consumption or internet data usage will be for video. Do you have any videos? Because ultimately, remember, best video ever is a recorded testimonial. But what about a video showcasing, not bragging about how wonderful your organization is, but rather showcasing what's in it for your customers? Have you thought about that? Have you got videos? If you haven't, it's time to start making videos. Next, what about search engine optimization? Have you got both the generic searches, in other words, where you've written articles, you've earned the right. Google has looked at you and gone, wow, you're actually a research site. You're actually, or your site actually delivers great information around those key searches. And so they put you in the top on page 1, which is in the top 10 searches. Or you could do pay-per-click, where you very carefully target keywords, and then you pay for advertising to appear. And obviously, when your customers see that, they have the opportunity of clicking, going to your website. Remember, your website is your brochure. They have an opportunity then to see what's in it for them. What about radio advertising? You know, the traditional advertising media. Have you thought about radio advertising? Is radio appropriate for your markets? What about billboard advertising? Is it worthwhile just creating awareness that people drive past every day and they see your organization? What about magazines, printed magazines? Is that a way? Is that an option for your organization? We're looking for innovative, creative ways that will create awareness and give our customers an opportunity to evaluate us and see that we can indeed deliver what we say we can. Focused sales, right? Where I like to call it my magnificent 50. So I identify 50 perfect prospects. In other words, 50 prospects that are completely aligned with my tribe. And then I focus all of my energy, all of my marketing efforts, all of my connection engagement, I focus that only on those 50 prospects. Now, think about your industry. Your industry might be different. Maybe yours is 20, your magnificent 20, magnificent 30. So think about targeting just enough customers or just enough prospects that you can consistently fill your sales pipeline with enough leads that sufficient leads come out the bottom to help you to achieve your sales target. So, next thing you want to do is, let's not forget about the value of the telephone, right? Telephone campaigns are amazing. I mean, you can even have, we do it on occasion, we all come into the office and we sit and we feed off each other and we listen to each other's calls and we spend a day on the phone just setting up calls. Maybe that'll work in your industry. Give it a try. You know what I say? Until you've tried it, you don't know if it's going to work or not, right? What about email marketing campaigns? Email is one of the most powerful campaigns. If you can get targeted customers that are part of your tribe, and then you can create headings that capture your customers' attention, and they're going to read your email, it's one of the most powerful ways of creating awareness and showing your customers everything you can do for them, right? The next thing you can do is share free resources with them, right? So the free resources I'm talking about are possible e-zines. So you can create, when we have this, a weekly e-zine campaign which has sales tips, sort of tips on handling objections and tips on closing and various sales related tips on a weekly basis that showcases exactly what we can do for our customers. We also have ebooks, right? So we take a number of e-zines, we combine them together and we create ebooks, which we also distribute. We offer free motivational talks. We do free assessments. We do free behavioral assessments. So think about your own product and service. What can you do? And I'm not talking about buying expensive gifts. I'm saying, what can you do to add or to give your customers something that is really valuable to them, but it's not of high cost, but it gives you an opportunity to showcase the fact that you care, and it also gives you an opportunity to showcase your product or service. You see, we're going to dig a lot deeper as we go through this, but I really need you to start thinking now. What are the other innovative ways that you can now fill your sales funnel? Once you fill your sales funnel effectively, closing sales becomes so much more simple because you're not so stressed because you've got a really full sales funnel. You're not worried about losing a deal here or there. But if you've only got a really small amount of future customers or prospects in your sales funnel and you lose one or two, that becomes traumatic. And you then become over-eager and your customers start to realize, my goodness, this person's too keen to close this sale. Whereas if you've got lots of deals in your sales pipeline and you have a very full or a whole lot of different methods of filling your sales pipeline, if one deal falls off, it's not the end of the world. So find as many innovative ways to fill your sales funnel as possible.